Mid-February 2025, and so much is happening in Canada, and that affects our real estate market, even here on Vancouver Island. And we are going to touch base on what's in the news. We're going to look at the market numbers as they have now been released, and we're going to go over the Comox Valley Campbell River real estate market for February 2025. My name is Heather Clifford, eXp Realty here on Vancouver Island. I have put together a presentation for you, and let's get started. Well, it is true. All around the world today, there is a lot of uncertainty, and especially here in Canada. But one thing is for sure, and that is our men's hockey team winning the Four Nations has made us as Canadians extremely proud and gave us a wonderful moment in our lives. So let's get started on this month's market update here in the Campbell River and the Comox Valley area. And we are going to go over the numbers as they have just come out. So in the news, let's start by talking about the Bank of Canada's Tiff Macklem when he addressed the Mississauga Board of Trade this past week. And one of the things that I got out of watching this entire hour, which was phenomenal, and it is found on YouTube, by the way, was that really Canada is in a sit and wait situation because we don't know how this is going to affect us, when it's going to take place, and what exactly it means. So the US trade policy and its uncertainty is definitely affecting how we are moving forward as Canadians and what will happen with our economy. So in the meantime, I have been telling my clients, and what I'm kind of seeing out there is people are getting busy and doing what it is when it comes to their household matters right away. They're not sitting back and waiting because as Canadians, it's a very uncomfortable position for us to be in when we don't know what our future looks like. And it holds the same when it comes down to your job stability. If you don't know that you're going to have a job or X amount of income every single month going forward, it's very hard for you to make plans when it comes to moving a house, moving up the socio ladder, or in many cases, having to sell because of financial restraints. And interesting enough, I was also reading the Canadian Economic Outlook from BMO, and the study found that actually Canadians are making more investments today than they ever have before. What I found interesting about reading this article is, to me, it sounded like by the end of it, what they were really doing is selling their services as private financial advisors to people. And quite possibly that falls hand in hand with the weekend reads for the $1 trillion tsunami, which is Canadians grappling with unprecedented $1 trillion worth of money coming down the socio ladder for them from their parents, people between the ages of 50 and 70, they say. However, having said that, I read this exact article 3 years ago. So they anticipate this happening between 2023 and 2026. Well, we are now in 2025, and I know from a lot of the people that I've worked over the past few years that yes, this has already happened, and this is actually old news. So that's kind of the articles that I am finding in the paper and the headlines. And I really find that it's important that we read the entire story in order to really believe what's going on. But I love to follow Tiff Macklem because, as the governor of the Bank of Canada, he certainly has his finger on the pulse of the Canadian economy and where we're going. And I really enjoyed his most recent interview. When it comes to the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board, our media release from Jason Yoakum reports that the 2025 housing market had a strong start, with single-family detached properties and row townhouses posting healthy sales and increases over last January. And I can tell you myself, January and February have been extremely busy months for me, and a lot of the properties that I have listed have accepted offers on them or they have now sold. So I do agree with that. The market is stronger than it was last January. Yes, it certainly is. So there is lots of optimism in the air. However, the threat of the American tariffs looms large, and it's really a wait and see situation. And do we really want to keep waiting to put our lives together to find out what's happening with America and the rest of Canada? Or do we want to just move on and do what we can while we can, let's just say? Once again, the areas that the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board covers is the North Island all the way down to the Cowichan Valley. And those are the numbers that generally I look at and review. So I like to look at month over month, and you can see from November to December, the overall Vancouver Island area dropped by a couple of $1,000. And then in January, it dropped again. So we are slowly seeing a downward trend, and we'll see what happens when the numbers come out next month. Also, when we look at active listings, right now we're sitting at about 888 active residential detached houses, and that is up from 829 back in December. So listings are up. I think that, like I'm feeling, people want to get on with business, on with their life, and get ready for whatever is coming down the road for us. If we look at the sales, we can see that generally it was the same in December as it was in January in the Campbell River area, and up substantially by 43% over this time last year. And in the Comox Valley, we're down slightly over last month, but we are also up 35% over the same time last year. So yes, our market is stronger right now. If we look at the single family benchmark pricing, the Campbell River area has dropped just slightly over last month. But if we go back a year ago, we are up. So once again, in Campbell River, the benchmark price of a single family home is sitting at $691,900, which is up 4% over the previous year. And the Comox Valley year over year benchmark price also rose by 2%. So they're sitting at 827,000 today. And if you look at a year ago, they were at 812. So even though the prices have slowly been going down a couple of $1,000s a month, we are still up over the same time last year. If we look across the areas, you can see that the Port Alberni area is still one of the most economically affordable places to purchase real estate. In our local areas that I'm covering. And then Campbell River is not too far behind, but Campbell River offers so much more than the Port Alberni area does. And then you have Nanaimo, or Cowichan Valley actually is next, followed by the Nanaimo area, and then the Comox Valley, and the retirement capital of the island, which is Parksville and Qualicum. In the apartment field, we are up just slightly over last month, and we are up quite a bit over this time last year. We are sitting right now in Campbell River at 354,800, and in the Comox Valley, we're at 388,600, which is up slightly over last month, but it is up a good 25,000 over this time last year. In our townhouse market, in January, we dropped almost $15,000 over last month. But if we go back 12 months ago, we are up over this time last year in Campbell River when it comes to townhouse, sitting now at $535,100 as your benchmark price. And then in the Comox Valley, we're at $545,500, which is down also over this time last month by close to $20,000. But if we go back last year, we are up just slightly, a couple of $1,000s in the Comox Valley over the same time last year. So, who is buying and who is selling over the last couple of months in my wheelhouse? I have a lot of relocations, people actually relocating here to the Comox Valley and the Campbell River area. I'm working with buyers that are coming in this coming weekend, and they are coming from Saskatchewan. I have people also coming from Alberta and a young couple from Ontario that are transferring this way. Once again, we still have plenty of estate sales. We are a aging community in the Comox Valley and Campbell River, longtime families, and that is part of that $1 trillion tsunami that the news is bringing up and talking about. I've only come across a couple of foreclosures in our area recently. So primarily, I see it's relocation, it's retirement, estate sales, and a few people moving out of their smaller townhouses into detached housing, and a lot of retired people saying our homes are too big for us. We want to put some money in the bank. That's always a very popular choice here in our local area on Vancouver Island. If we have a quick look month over month, you can see our listings are actually down in February over January. Our sales pending are up a little bit more, so we were busier over the last month. And our souls are relatively the same. There is always going to be real estate. It doesn't matter what is happening across Canada and in the world when it comes to our economy, because people will always need to buy and sell real estate for many different reasons. It will slow down. It certainly can feel like it's freezing, and that could bring prices down. We're really just going to have to wait to see what is coming our way. This is a newer listing I have on Yake Road in Fanny Bay. It has beautiful views, very lovely views across to Denman Island and Hornby Island. It's just over half an acre. Asking price is 978,800. This is a manufactured home. It looks and feels just like a detached home, and it also has a separate double garage. Many updates in this property, and you can certainly reach out and ask me any questions you have. This is my condo. It is now at $385,000 in Campbell River with nice little ocean views. It's a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. It's priced extremely well right now. I highly recommend booking an appointment to get in there. I feel like this property is poised to sell at this point. Edgett Road, I just listed it, but I do have an accepted offer on it as of this morning, actually. There was a lot of work done to this manufactured home. So new roof, new siding, new skirting, and some paint on the inside as well. My new listing on Harmony. Oh, what a lovely rancher home this is. Very, very well taken care of. New fencing, new roof. Beautiful property. I have an accepted offer on that property as well. James Crescent, this is a subject to sale accepted offer, so we are encouraging people to view. This is one of the most beautiful scenic properties backing onto the Oyster River, 170 feet of waterfront. Nice sprawling rancher, lots of room for extended family, and just a lovely area. Offered at 1,089,900. I do have an accepted offer on this commercial property on Piercy Avenue. And McFedrin now, I'm very happy to say for this was an estate sale that it is now sold. Timberline, I'm also extremely pleased. This was a newer listing. We do have subjects removed. This property is now also sold. Greaves came on the market and sold really quickly, and that will be closing next week. Longview is going to close in March. This also was a lovely home down in the Bowser area. Sabre subjects were removed. This property is now sold as well in Comox. It was quite a big house, a really nice neighborhood in central Comox. It is now sold. Also, Anderton, my wonderful buyers will be moving into this property next week as well. This property is also sold. I like to remind everyone that we have a lot of incredible businesses that are locally owned and support them as much as you can. I love going to the Native Sons Hall during the winter fall market and getting my bread, which is Honey Grove Bakery. Shore Wolf Farms is opening up again next month, which is another one of our favorite places in Black Creek to attend, as well as the Clever Crow. I love going to Naturally Pacific Resort for a nice dinner or to just hit some golf balls and support them. Of course, Matone's at Salmon Point. What a fun little place for you to go for lunch or dinner. They are now thriving and open. And then, of course, I love my good friend Penny Etter from Ceramics. And Penny is a wonderful sculptor, artist, and she is in the Merville area, and she also has an online store. So that is my market update for February 2025. Our market is still relatively busy right now. I think it's a great time if you are contemplating getting your house on the market. Reach out. I'll talk to you about how I feel where the market is right now. It all could change. We are really in a sitting position, sitting ducks, I like to say. So if you're thinking about doing something when it comes to real estate, now's the time to do it. My name is Heather. Take care.